everyone, my name is Lutka Zimochak. I'm one of the managing attorneys at Nachman Fulwani and Zimochak Law Group, PC, and today I have here Jacob and Kawane, who is going to assist me with explanation of provisional waivers. 601 provisional waiver was implemented on March 4th, 2013. It helps many people, especially those that entered without inspection, since before they would have to apply for a waiver abroad. We decided to use role play today. Jacob is going to play a client and I'm going to be an attorney so you could better understand the provisional waiver process. Hello Jacob, so how can I help you today?
Today I came to you to inquire about obtaining a green card.
Very good, we can certainly help you. Why don't you tell me more about your current status, about how did you enter the United States, and whether you have any family in the United States.
Okay. I am currently in the U.S. without status. I entered through the Mexican border, and I have a U.S. citizen wife and one child who is also a U.S. citizen, and my wife was born here, so her whole family lives here in the U.S.
Very good. Do you remember filing any immigrant petitions or any applications with Department of Labor?
When my wife and I first met, we got married in 2005. Then in 2006, she filed an application, an I-130 petition for me, which was approved. And that's why I'm here today. To come and talk to you about how we can move forward in processing the green card application.
Very good. It seems like we can help you by filing a provisional waiver but before we do that, we need to cover certain issues. With filing of a provisional waiver, we need to show that once your immigrant visa is denied, your U.S. citizen spouse will suffer an extreme hardship.
So you mentioned extreme hardship. What is extreme hardship?
U.S. government considers several factors, so among them medical issues, any financial issues, family ties, as well as country conditions. So we have to cover all of them to determine whether we can proceed with provisional waiver. With that being said, does your wife have any medical problems?
Yes, she does. She currently suffers from severe diabetes, and she has to go once a week to have her blood drawn.
Okay, that's very helpful for the case. We certainly need all the medical records, all the documentation to prove her condition as well as her treatment. How about her employment? Is she working currently?
Yes, she works as a teacher, and she's specialized in high school teaching. So she's licensed and she's gone to college here in the U.S. for her teaching job.
Do you think she would be able to find a job in your home country?
It would be very difficult because her teaching area is very specific, and being able to relocate back home and get the same type of job would be very difficult, since the licensing is also very different.
Okay, so again, that's something that we can certainly use for the case. How about any family? Does she have any family in the United States?
Yes, her family is here. Her entire family is here in the U.S. Her two parents live with us.
Okay.
The elderly, her mother and her father, and we take care of them. Okay,
so that's something again that we want to use. We're going to need medical documents regarding the parents. That's going to be very helpful for the case, as well as affidavits from relatives, from friends, from you, as well as from your wife, describing all those hardships. In addition, we want to look if there are any psychological issues with regards to your wife. That's something that we need to consider as well. How about country conditions in your country? Certainly we have to research it, but why don't you tell me if you know of any country conditions?
Well, the country is a lot of poverty is in the country. So the jobs don't pay well. The education system is not that great. So us having a daughter, she won't get the same schooling as she would get if we had to go back to our country. Again, medical conditions are not that great, and since she's got severe diabetes and her two parents are also elderly, just being able to have easy access to medical facilities, doctors, would also be very difficult.
Yes, very good. Jacob, why don't you tell me about the border? What happened exactly at the border when you entered the United States?
So when I came in, I was crossing the border and I was held by ICE or customs officers, and they kept me for a couple of hours. I don't remember how many hours, but it was just a few hours and then they let me go. I don't remember receiving any paperwork from them.
Do you remember if you've seen a judge or whether you received a removal order?
I don't remember. I know they held me for a few hours and they just let me go, and that's how I entered and remained in the US.
Okay, it is very important that we determine what exactly happened at the border, and therefore what I recommend is to do FBI fingerprint check, and that will show us whether or not you have removal order. That's very important for the case, because if you have removal order, you will not qualify for provisional waiver. There may be other options that you would have, but not 601 provisional waiver.
Okay, so if everything comes through and let's say I'm able to move forward with the provisional waiver, would I be able to get my green card in the US?
Unfortunately, no. Once the waiver is approved, you would have to leave and you would have to process your immigrant visa at the US Embassy. It will not take long. It could be 1 month, 2 months, but still you have to leave the United States. You cannot get a green card within the United States.
Okay. And how long does the whole provisional waiver take before I get the interview?
That's a good question. US government, USCIS is reporting approximately 4 months, but from our experience it could be anywhere between 4 months to 8 months to obtain approval on such waiver. In alternative, USCIS can issue a request for additional evidence.
Okay. Wow, so this is a lot of information to take in.
Certainly.
Thank you very much for your time and for explaining more about the provisional waiver.
Yes, I just want to point out to you that the provisional waiver is only for people that entered without inspection and that have unlawful presence in the United States. It does not cover any other grounds of inadmissibility, such as fraud, criminal, smuggling, among others. So if you do have any fraud-related issues, you might be able to file a different waiver, but not a provisional waiver. And should you have any questions about provisional waiver, or if you feel that you're eligible to file provisional waiver, please do not hesitate to contact our office. Thank you.